Hey guys, this is Breezeboy here with a video that has gone through a lot of editing and a lot of preparation. This is, of course, a video about how to make the perfect thumbnail. So, thumbnails are kind of one of the first things that you'll see in your subscription feed. It's something that will, of course, grab the eye of the viewer. But are they really that important? Let's of course get this out of the way immediately. The title of your video still is very important, but I do feel like a majority of the time, a lot of people do look at the thumbnail of the video to catch the viewer's attention. So anyways, I made a Google form for this that several people have now filled out for me, so I can get somewhat of a rough estimate. So of course, what I did here is I pretty much took a snip of my subscription list and certain thumbnails together and in different orders and in different amounts of thumbnails to figure out if, what thumbnails go well against other thumbnails, and then like, is a really complicated thumbnail really good that's really fancy, or something that's really bare, or something like leaves a question to, be answered in the video. Anyways, let's go in here. So, the first one that people chose was pretty much GTA Online by Vanis Gaming. Pretty much, I assume that people chose this just because, well, multiple reasons. Vanos is hilarious. A lot of his videos are hilarious. Anyways, on to the next one. Some people chose The Joy of Creation, which is, I guess, another choice that was done by just somebody that was just watching. And then the next one is... what was it? The next one was Linus. Now, of course, here is kind of not much to say, but there is still some there. This style of thumbnail has very little on the thumbnail, and a lot more just, you have to actually look at the title, which, usually with all these thumbnails, most of the time there's text there. And when there's not really text there, you can't get a really solid image out of the thumbnail, you look to the title. And the title is 6 Unusual Video Cards. So... it prompts you with a question, pretty much. And so then the next one is, I chose FNAF because it was like, what did we miss in FNAF? Oh my god, it had this huge, question that I was like, I need to see this because these videos are awesome and they look really cool. And then, of course, this one guy chose Star Wars Battlefront just because it has a really cool, epic, thumbnail. And then, so anyways, on to the next couple, one of them. So, this one right here, does your choice of editing software matter? I do have to say that, it's very straightforward. It doesn't try to prompt you with a question. Well, it is prompting you with a question, but it's not vague. It's just, does your editing software matter? And for me, as a content creator, I want to know about that. On to the next one. So these next thumbnails were pretty much, they were taken in a row to simulate you just looking row by row by row instead of just skimming. Because the first group of thumbnails was to pretty much simulate which thumbnails grab your attention when you're just skimming, which thumbnails grab your attention when you're looking line by line, and does the title matter when people are doing that. Thumbnail, what do people nitpick and why? So anyways, both people, a lot of people here actually, chose to do the Leafy video because it's hilarious to hear him rant for a while. But then some people did say that a lot of these Blood Party videos, just the thumbnails had too much going on. And especially with the Vintage Beef, not to be, very critical of him and how he makes them, but there's not this small text. I have to kind of be like, huh? Albina play? I can't see. Now, guaranteed my vision is shot, but I can't see. Speaking of vision being shot, the camera can't autofocus for crap. Okay, so the next one is, a lot of people chose the Linus video is like, it's hilarious because, well, we look at the title, maybe we're wrong about Intel. Very questioning. Very, very interesting. And then the next one is pretty much oh yeah, the Monster Cat one. And so you can see when no one said about the Mumbo Jumbo videos, and I feel like just there's not enough colors in that really contrast. And then does goal line technology work? It's just kind of like... yeah. But then, of course, the Monster Cat has a really cool background to it. So also, none of these Fortnite ones, once I asked them, they never really chose them. And I think I know why. It's just because there's so much happening in there. I mean, at a quick glance, you're like, what? I mean, the Linus ones are really simple. Just, you have something in the hand, then it looks really clickbaity and has a background. That's about it. Anyways, the next one is to pretty much nitpick on, or pretty much to see what people chose about certain videos when they look at them. And this one, I said there's just too much to see in the thumbnail, and a lot of people have said it looks really confusing and I can't tell what's going on. And I can personally agree with that. This next one is Baby Driver. At the time that I made this, I was like, Baby Driver? What's Baby Driver? And then I remember seeing an old ad for this about Baby Driver, you know, the movie. And if you don't know anything about the movie, then you're kind of just like, what? Baby Driver? It's just confusing enough that you're just kind of like, what? You know, it's so confusing that I honestly didn't even click on the video, even though I watched this person's stuff enough. I just went down and saw something more interesting. A lot of people said it looked really epic. This one, I was like, it's easy to pick from a crowd of videos, and the eyes are like, you know, they kind of look at you and they're really creepy, and it grabs your attention, and it doesn't have a ton of stuff in the thumbnail, so then, of course, your eyes look down into the title to see what it is. Some people said it was too flashy, and it scares the watcher, but of course, that depends your age, or what your age is. Then this one is, it grabs your eye really well with the really creepy and spooky lighting. It does kind of like hint to what might happen in the, you know, the video, which could be interesting, like, oh my god, do they get lost, or something like that. So, pretty cool. Pretty cool. But I'm not interested in a 47-minute long road trip. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Okay, so the last one is, I said that there's too much to comprehend with the numbers and the text, and it's just a crowded thumbnail. And on the other hand, people said that the titles are easy to see and easy to read, and the background kind of fits in with the whole Tide, thing about making an automatic chicken farm, which they go together. But I feel like there's honestly just a little too much trying to happen in this thumbnail, from my personal opinion. So, for this being like the third time I've recorded this, because each time I was either disappointed in the quality of the video, disappointed in how I worded things, or just wanted to do it again. So this is my third time. So anyways, let's make a conclusion here. So, the conclusion here is that, I turn off my monitor nose. Oh my god! It doesn't look, super weird. The conclusion here is that there's many ways that you can do a thumbnail, but the basis for getting a click or a view is trying to pose a question to the viewer that the video can only answer. You need to try to entice them to watch, query them with a question, and just kind of get their brain thinking, okay, I want to figure out what this is. There's multiple ways that you, of course, can grab the viewer's attention by just simply not having text there, or having text there and having a question there. Is, for a while, how a lot of thumbnails have gotten very crowded with text and things happening in them. A thumbnail that has no text and nothing on it at all kind of grabs your eye out. You think less things in a thumbnail, it's not going to grab your eye, but it kind of does. You kind of look at it like, well, this is weird. There's a section of the page that is not splattered with text and photoshopped images. So there's that. Or you can try to make something that looks really, really epic, that's going to catch the viewer and is going to stand out from everything. Now, of course, there's always the chance that your thumbnail is just put up against another thumbnail, and yours is just not appealing enough to another one. I mean, you could see where if there was a ton of things happening in a bunch of thumbnails, that one thumbnail that doesn't have a lot happening in it is usually chosen. That's what I would do. Because, of course, the thumbnails that were just had too much happening in them, I just didn't feel like investing time into. And then, of course, you could say the other way around. If a bunch of these thumbnails are all plain and then you have one that's well-made, and when I mean well-made, I mean it looks pretty nice and someone spent some good amount of time photoshopping it and editing it, you know, that's going to happen. So it's always chance that your thumbnail is just going to be put up against another thumbnail or video and it's just not going to stand out. Anyways, to come to another somewhat conclusion, does your thumbnail really honestly matter that much? Well, if you're doing the Linus way of doing this, where you pretty much have nothing in the thumbnail, no text in anything, except pretty much a clickbaity image of something, and then the title is where you actually figure out what the, you know, what's the subject of the video, then yeah, the title is super important. But if your video, if your thumbnail is really catchy, then your title may not be or so important. Or you can go with a really good mix, where you can try to go with something that's not super flashy, but somewhat in the middle. And then what my personal favorite is try to sum up the title in the thumbnail. And then you can, you know, or try to put, you know, a abbreviated version of the title in the thumbnail, and then put the longer version in the title. That's what I like to do, and that's what I'm going to do for this thumbnail. Anyways, guys, the thumbnail that I made here has a bunch of other videos in it. I feel bad, even if these are not copyrighted, that I don't put them in the description, so that's going to be in the description. If you want to take the test, or I should say the quiz, about what thumbnails pique your interest, please take that. It's also going to be in the description, and if you want to figure out how I made this video, that will also be in the description. Anyways, guys, this is Breezy Boy, out.
In pockets like a sack. Going downtown to see a man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand. Hit that dive jack. Put in pockets like a sack. Time and time waits for no man, and I ain't got time to shake your hand.